And we're back for MLB Best Bets here on the channel for Wednesday, July 2nd. The second day, obviously, of the month of July. Yesterday, we only had 3 bets actually go through because 2 of our bets with the Nerfy and our Nationals Best Bet got rained out. Hopefully, there's no rain today. But with the 3 bets that we actually had, we went 3-0. So shout out to Joe Adell with the double going over the total baseline. We had the Blue Jays with a huge win on Canada Day against the Yankees. George Springer with, 7 RBI? Crazy game for the Blue Jays. And then the nightcap hit for us as well. Zach Gallen did a really good job on the bump for the D-backs. Arizona wins 8-2 over the Giants. So a 3-0 perfect day yesterday. Let's look for the 5-0 today. You know, we'll see. But again, a perfect day yesterday. Let's build off that momentum. I told you again, we switched it up, or we turned a corner in the month of at the end of June. All right, and now we're building momentum. So we've been having some positive days recently. Let's keep it moving today. Before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB best bets here on the channel. We also have our PFL Europe predictions up right now on Greedo Plays MMA. Go make sure to check out that video. Link in the description down below, along with our PFL MENA predictions, both again on Greedo Plays MMA. We are 45 subscribers away from 1,000 on Greedo Plays MMA. We're going to be doing different type of MMA content on Greedo Plays MMA once we hit 1,000, potentially boxing as well. I'm still deciding about that. So make sure to go check out Greedo Plays MMA. Go subscribe. Again, we are on the road to 1,000. We're really close to it, so help us out over there. Okay, and go subscribe to this channel, obviously, as well, Greedo Plays. Okay, first best bet of the video. Let's start with an early morning spot, okay? Let's get off to the right start here in the morning. I have 2 best bets for the morning games. First of which, a regularly scheduled 9:30 game between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. We bet the money line for the Cardinals for the first game of the series. Obviously, didn't go our way, but it is what it is. Pirates win yesterday as well. Today, we're going to stay away from a money line. We're just going to go straight Nerfy today, and I like the start here. I like the first inning for both squads. Sonny Gray and Mitch Keller are going for the Cardinals and the Pirates, and I'm okay with this. I've talked about Sonny Gray quite a bit this season. He is the best pitcher in this Cardinals rotation, and his last start, my goodness, on Friday night against the Guards. Goes 9 innings, no runs, only gives up 1 hit. He pitches a 1-hitter, goes the full game and 11 strikeouts. Sonny Gray's been really good this season. He will have his starts where he's just, kind of but as a whole, recently, Sonny Gray's been really good for the Cardinals. 2.55 ERA in the month of June. Now, obviously, on to July. Gray's been really solid and really productive for this team. We get 2 pitchers here who are pretty solid. I mean, Gray, obviously, I probably should be an all-star this year. I mean, who's going to be? No, Donovan might be the Cardinals all-star. We'll see. Anyways, Gray is an all-star caliber guy, obviously. And for Mitch Keller, he's a guy who's been more than serviceable as well. 3.9 ERA this season. But recently, right, Mitch Keller has been pretty good for the Pirates. You look at his last couple starts, only gives up 2 and 1 runs in his last 3. Keller ERA in the month of June is 4.3, but got blown up early in the month against the Astros and did not have a good start against the Marlins. Recently, though, Mitch Keller has been good for Pittsburgh. Another thing we have to mention here with this best bet, with the Nerfy, is that the Cardinals haven't scored yet in this series. They've played 18 innings in Pittsburgh, and they are still yet to plate 1 run. The first game of the series, obviously, we were not on the right end of that game, but it was 7-0 Pirates. Yesterday, 1-0 victory for the Pirates. Don't get me wrong, the Cardinals had so many opportunities to score in that game, and they could just not cash in. I believe they had 3 different chances in that game against Pittsburgh yesterday, where they had a runner in scoring position with less than 2 outs, and they couldn't convert. I mean, they had runner on third with 1 out, I believe, 3 times, and they couldn't get that run in. Paul Skeens does his thing. He's the best pitcher in baseball, and Pittsburgh wins the game 1-0. So again, St. Louis has gone 18 straight innings without scoring against the Pirates. And sure, Pittsburgh scored a lot in game 1 of the series against Eric Fetty. Yesterday, though, they only played 1 run. It was in the 8th inning. They had runners on second and third. Henry Davis hit a sac fly into center field. I believe it was Ke'Bryan Hayes came in to score, and he got moved over to third after a Adam Frazier double. It was a ground rule double from Adam Frazier. So again, there was very minimal scoring in yesterday's game. I look at today's matchup, right? Gray and Keller. I think Sonny Gray is going to go right through the Pirates. And sure, Pittsburgh won yesterday, and they were the only team to score. St. Louis was hitting the ball much better. They just couldn't come up with that clutch hit, right? St. Louis had 7 hits in that game. Again, 0 runs. Pittsburgh only had 4, and they were no hit through 5 innings. McCutchen was their only base runner for the first 6 innings of this game. I think especially in the first inning, Sonny Gray should see a lot of success. Looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 right now for the Pirates, it's Horwich in the 1, it's McCutchen, Reynolds, and Gonzalez. Obviously, Clutch is still an amazing OBP guy, 350 OBP this season for him, highest on the entire Pittsburgh Pirates lineup. But I mean, that's an out that Gray should be able to get. Brian Reynolds, he will have his nights, but not a guy I'm overly concerned about right now. Gonzalez in the 4 spot's been hitting the ball well, but again, I'm not too concerned about that. I think Sonny Gray's going to be fine in the first inning. And on the flip side, I do think the harder part of this Nerfy, even though the Cardinals have gone 18 scoreless so far, is going to be Mitch Keller. Just because, again, Keller has gotten blown up in certain starts this season, but a sub-4 ERA is more than manageable in this spot. He's going to see Brendan Donovan. He's going to see Mason Wynn. He's going to see Alec Burleson. I think I'm okay with that. I really think, again, Keller's going to be able to find those outs. Again, St. Louis hasn't scored so far in 18 innings. We just need them to, give up 3 more outs to start this game. I think we're going to be all right. I'm taking the Nerfy here at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, between the Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals to kick off the day at 9:35. So after the first inning of that game is over, you can turn on to the Washington Nationals game. Actually, we don't have a best bet for the first Nats game. It's the second one. Regardless, I highly encourage you to go watch the Washington Nationals and Trevor Williams tomorrow. But anyways, the other bet that we have coming up right after that 9:30 start time with the Cardinals and Pirates is at 10 o'clock. The Philadelphia Phillies and the San Diego Padres. Now, hopefully this game doesn't get rained out, and to be honest with you, I haven't checked the weather yet of this game. It doesn't affect my bet in terms of like who I think is going to win the game. If the game gets rained out, it is what it is. I'm going Phil's money line here. All right, I'm going Philadelphia to win the first game of this 2-game doubleheader. Philly's the big favorite in the second game. It's Christopher Sanchez and Dylan Cease going. I'm going to take the first one. Nick Pivetta, Mick Abel going. I'm okay with Philly here. I'm taking Philadelphia to beat the Padres. Guys, the Phillies are the better baseball team, and again, I know a couple of you guys mentioned this in the comments earlier in the week. Like, again, yes, the better baseball team doesn't always win. It's baseball. Right now, the Phillies are playing better baseball, and I look at the pitching matchup, and I see Nick Pivetta versus Mick Abel. Okay, Mick Abel has been really good this season, right? He has been the guy so far. Well, they have Zach Wheeler. Mick Abel arguably has been their second best starter. Christopher Sanchez is around. He's their third best starter, right? Which is a big deal. Abel with a 3.47 ERA. His last start was against the Mets, and he got blown up. It is what it is. Abel, though, the 23-year-old, has been good this season, okay? And the Padres, they have their guys at the top of the lineup. I get that. This is a team that's coming off a shutout loss, though. They lost 4-0 in the first game of this series. And sure, that was Zach Wheeler. He went 8 innings, had 10 strikeouts. But this is the Padres team dating back to that series against the Cincinnati Reds. And even that Nat series, too. The Padres have kind of been struggling to hit the baseball. Even dating back to the Royals series, they haven't been that explosive San Diego offense that we've been accustomed to watching, And I always say this with San Diego. I think they have one of the best, top 4s or 1 through 4s in all of baseball. I mean, there are teams that are better, obviously, like the Los Angeles Dodgers, the Yankees at their best, But, I mean, it's tough to beat Arise, Machado, Merrill, and Tatis. It is, right? In whatever order that they're batting. It could be, Tatis, Arise, Tatis, regardless, right? Like, it's hard to beat those 4. The problem that the Padres have, though, is beyond those 4 guys. Sure, Gavin Sheets will have his nights. The Padres fans love him. They do the Holy Sheets chant. I don't know. I feel like Sheets sometimes does leave a lot to be desired. But even if you include Sheets, past those top 5, I mean, the bottom 4, it really feels like are just automatic outs most games. Xander Bogaerts had his little stretch where he kind of came back, and sure, the last game actually of this series between the Phils and the Padres, Bogaerts went 3 for 4. What I'm going to tell you now is that Xander Bogaerts is not going to replicate that. Ben Johnson, I guess, has his nights. I believe his name's Ben Johnson. Bryce Johnson, my goodness. Martin Maldonado, Elias Diaz, whoever's catching. Like, guys, the bottom lineup's just really bad. Cronenworth is not that same guy that he used to be in the early 2020s. It's just not that great of a team right now. And again, yes, the top 4, 5-ish is really good. Philadelphia is the way more complete lineup. I get Pavetta's pitching today for the Padres. Guys, he's due for some heavy regression. Pivetta was not having a good month of June before that national start. Before the Nats start, Pavetta's ERA in the month of June was like 7. And it got lowered a whole 2.5 points because he went 7 shutout innings against the Nationals. And unfortunately, this is just what being a Nationals fan does to you. You go through those stretches, and the Nationals will, stab you right through the heart and just say, you know what? Yeah, we're going to decide we're not going to hit the baseball today. And Pivetta had one of those nights. Again, Pivetta at his best was really good, but Pivetta really struggled in the month of June. Had a really bad start against the Giants, had a really bad start against the Dodgers, had a really bad start against the Royals. His team lost all 3 of those games. Good lineups are going to go after Nick Pivetta, and good lineups are going to have success against the British Columbian native. Just because he pitched real well against the Washington Nationals does not mean he's going to pitch really well against the Philadelphia Phillies. Bryce Harper's back in the lineup for Philadelphia. I said this yesterday real quickly. I'm going to say it again. I hated Bryce Harper's answer to whatever reporter asked him about his condition. Harper said, I'll paraphrase this. Nothing's really changed. He's a little better now, but it's still like a nagging thing. But he's been out for about a month, and he just wants to get back on the field, so he's going to play. That's not good. I've been reading on Phillies Twitter. Phillies fans are scared he's going to become the next Joel Embiid, and he's always going to be injured. Because Bryce, in all fairness, has gotten injured a lot. Hey, I would still love to have Bryce Harper on my baseball team. I really would. In a heartbeat, I would take Bryce Harper back to DC. I would trade a lot, actually. I would trade quite a bit to get Bryce Harper back. So if Philly's ungrateful for him, he can waltz right back into DC, and I'll welcome him in with open arms. I don't know if the rest of Nats fans would. But anyways, I didn't like that answer. I'm kind of getting the vibes Harper's going to go back on the IL pretty soon. I don't know. He's only played one game, though. I assume Harper's going to be all right for a little bit. I don't know. But again, Turner, Schwarber, Harper, Bohm. Castellanos has been having actually a pretty good season. I get it. The bottom of the lineup's really bad, too. Let's just be honest. Like, Realmuto, he's bad. Max Kepler will he'll hit a nuke 400 feet every once in a while, like the one that Merrill robbed the other day, and then he'll go 0 for 4 the other. Bryson Stott has his nights, and then Brandon Marsh, too. I just think Philly right now is the better baseball team. They're playing better. They're 15 over. It kind of feels like they're in control of the National League East at this point. Braves are bad. Marlins are not a serious threat. And the Mets just suck, and the Nationals suck. So, I don't know. I like Philadelphia right now. We talked about this again a little bit yesterday. Like, this is the end of their window. They got to make a push right now, and I think they're going to beat the Padres today. The first half of the doubleheader. I think they probably win the second half, too, but we're not going to play that. So, give me Mick Abel and the Philadelphia Phillies to win the first half of the doubleheader here at Citizens Bank against the Padres. I think they get it done. I think Pivetta shows some regression, and Abel still does his thing. Okay, third game of the video, third best bet of the video. It's our Washington Nationals best bet of the day. Just because I want to talk about it at the end of the video after our fifth best bet, I am going to talk a little bit about the MLB draft because the Nationals do have the number 1 pick. So if you want to stay for that, go ahead. But anyways, so just again, letting you guys know for that. Nationals best bet's the money line in the second game, not the first game, okay? Tyler Holton, Trevor Williams both get starts in the first game. Obviously, Holton is an opener. We'll see how long he goes. I'm not picking a Trevor Williams baseball game. I'm just not. And originally, I was just going to stick with CJ Abrams over on total bases like I had yesterday. But they switched pitchers, obviously. So originally, Flaherty and Williams were supposed to pitch yesterday, and then likely bullpen day / Holton versus Mackenzie Gore today. The Tigers switched it around. They are now going bullpen game first with Holton, and then they're going to go Jack Flaherty for the second game against Gore. All right. I just like the second game a lot more then. I hope the Nats win the first game. I'm going to get up at 10 o'clock, which is kind of early for me. I'm going to get up and watch the game. I'm probably not going to be happy. But where the money's at for us is in the second game of this doubleheader. They should beat the Tigers in the second game. I understand Detroit's a better baseball team. They have better bats. I get it. They're the best team in the American League for a reason. However, you don't know how due the Washington Nationals are to win a Mackenzie Gore start. I'm so serious. I mean, I keep talking about this. He is on Paul Skeens levels of no run support. He has, I think, the third lowest run support in all of Major League Baseball, and I think that's even lower than Skeens. Like Mitchell Parker's on the list too now. Or actually, I don't know if anymore because the Nats got him run support in his last start. Anyways, Gore's got a 3 ERA. He's got a 3-8 record. It's just ridiculous. His last start against the Padres was really good. 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. Took the L in that game. Took the L. It's a joke, But Gore's been really good, and my thing with Gore is the Nats have lost the last 4 starts Gore's pitched in, and in 3 of those starts, he's given up 2 runs or less. The one start where he didn't was against the Dodgers, and the Dodgers had a lot of success against Mackenzie. Anyways, we were a reviewed play away from getting out of a jam and being fine in that start, but it's okay. The Nats have to win a Mackenzie Gore start eventually. And I feel like Gore is going to have a really good night here against the Tigers just because when does Mackenzie Gore not have good nights? Just be honest, he's that good. When is he not pitching at his best? Jack Flaherty, I said this yesterday, and this is why I really liked Abrams in the player prop. Flaherty hasn't been good recently. 4.8 ERA. In the month of June, Flaherty's ERA was 7. And now leave it to the Nationals, like with Pivetta, to screw this up. But I'm so serious. You had a day off yesterday, second half of a doubleheader. They're probably coming off a loss. Let's get it going in the second half of the doubleheader, okay? I really think they should be able to jump on Flaherty in this game. And I'm looking at Abrams. I'm looking at James Wood. And the reason why we're going Nats money line rather than Abrams here is just because it's about the same odds. And I actually rather take Nats money line over just Abrams, depending on Abrams. Because here we can depend on the bats and Gore, which I don't know if we want to depend on the bats, but we'll see. They should be able to hit Flaherty. I would imagine Gore is going to have a good game. Again, Mackenzie Gore rarely has bad nights. Arguably, he's had 2 bad nights all year long against the Blue Jays and then against the Los Angeles Dodgers. I went over this yesterday. He should be an all-star. I think he's not going to get the spot, though. I legitimately think Kyle Finnegan's more likely to be an all-star than Mackenzie Gore is. But unless the MLB really wants to push the young core out of the Nats and they just make those 3 the all-stars. I haven't thought about that. They might do that. Anyways, yeah, I think Mackenzie's going to roll right through this Tigers lineup. I get it. Detroit's got guys. I hype up Detroit all the time. They've got a really solid lineup. And they've got a bunch of guys who can hit left-handed pitching, like Glaber, obviously. You got Torque. You got Javi Baez, who bats in the 9 some nights. I mean, they've got guys. I understand that. I think Mackenzie's going to be all right. I think the Nats are going to win this baseball game. -110 for the Washington Nationals to beat the best team in the American League in the second half of the doubleheader, not the first. Do not touch the Trevor Williams game. There's a reason I put the Phillies bet in there, because that's what we're going to focus on to start the day. Okay, not Trevor Williams. I'll be watching. Not going to be happy, but anyways. Nats money line -110. All right, 4th best bet of the video. I'm fading the Giants again. Okay, I like fading the Giants because the team sucks. Okay, guys, Rafi Devers is a sub 200 hitter. He's been like what 160 with the San Francisco Giants, and I'm not trying to hate on Rafael Devers. I'm just saying like the San Francisco Giants are just not a good baseball team. I've been calling for this regression since the start of the season. Obviously, you know, the dark magic that the Giants had in the month of May and whatnot, it was scary. Okay, the month of June hit, they're not very good anymore, and sure, say what you want, oh, Matt Chapman's not playing, and that's a very valid point. Like, they have not been good without Matt Chapman. However, they're not a good baseball team just right now. Again, so I'm taking Arizona to beat them again. I'm taking the Diamondbacks to win here. I'm taking them to sweep, or actually win the first 3. They do play tomorrow. I don't know if we're going to be on Brandon Pfaadt tomorrow against Robbie Ray. Don't know about that. Maybe the Giants salvage one tomorrow. I'm taking Arizona to win the first 3, though. Pitching matchup tonight, Merrill Kelly, Landon Rupp. Again, guys, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but it doesn't matter who's pitching for the Diamondbacks, and it really doesn't matter who's pitching for the Giants, okay? Arizona's lineup is going to find ways to score, okay? And San Francisco got out to an early lead yesterday, and I'll get to yesterday's game in a second. But they got out to an early lead, and Arizona still found a way to put up 8 runs on the Giants, 8 consecutive runs. But it doesn't matter who's pitching for Arizona. It doesn't matter who's pitching for San Francisco. Because here's the thing. The Giants aren't going to be able to score, or at least score enough, right? Guys, Zach Gallen, who's been a shell of his former self this season, pitched yesterday, and he went 7 innings of 2-run baseball. Gave up 2 runs early, settled in, he was fine. Giants can't score. D-backs, they're going to find ways to put runs on the board. They did it against Logan Webb. They did yesterday against Hayden Birdsong, who threw 10 consecutive balls before giving up a big home run to McCarthy. But it is what it is, right? And that's where the D-backs really broke through in that game. And obviously the long ball kept going for them. And that's what the Snakes can do when they're at their best. I mean, they're fighting and trying their hardest right now to play out of selling at the deadline. We'll see if that happens. But tonight it's Landon Rupp and Merrill Kelly. Okay. Merrill Kelly, I know, has had 3 bad starts consecutively. Like, not great, I would say. I guess the Rocky start actually wasn't that bad, but the Padres start that he had and the Marlins start that he had weren't very good. He was very good prior to that, had 2 shutout starts against in 7 innings and 6 innings against the Braves and the Mariners. But to close the month of June, yes, Merrill Kelly has not been trending in the right direction. Okay, he's due to bounce back eventually. Merrill Kelly's a good enough pitcher. He'll be fine. Former Team USA pitcher in the World Baseball Classic. He'll be okay. And also the Giants just suck, you know? Giants suck. So I don't know how many runs they're going to be able to score off of Kelly. I'll say maybe like 1 or 2. Just because, guys, look at the lineup right now. It's a problem when Elliot Ramos isn't getting going. Because when Ramos is going, okay, like the lineup can suck, but if Ramos is going to blast the ball every once in a while, it gives them life. Right now, they have no life. They have no life in the lineup right now. I mean, Yaz is batting leadoff. He's a 240 hitter, you know. Jung-Ho Lee at one point in time was considered a, potential all-star this season. He's been nothing but that recently. He's batting like 240 now. It's actually disgusting. They gave him a night off yesterday, but my goodness, they played Daniel Johnson instead, who hit a triple but did nothing else after. Adames against scam the Giants. He went yard yesterday. That means he's going 0 for 4 today. Rafi Devers is batting like 170 as a Giant. He struck out in 9 consecutive at-bats or something like that. Dom Smith is one of this team's best hitters, which just shows you where they're at. And the Snakes are going to score. Marte, Perdomo, Suarez, Gurriel, hell, McCarthy got going yesterday. Alec Thomas at the bottom of the lineup is a tough out right now. The Giants let James McCann go yard in that game. You know? Stylistically right now, it's tough for the Giants to beat anybody, let alone the Diamondbacks at Arizona, at Chase Field. The Giants have now lost 7 out of their last 8 games. You know? Can they win this one? I'm going to say no. I don't think they're going to get it. I think Arizona is the better baseball team right now. Again, it doesn't matter who's pitching for the Giants, and it doesn't really matter who's pitching for the D-backs. The Arizona offense will overcome the good pitching, and the San Francisco lackluster bats are not going to overcome the mediocre Arizona pitching. And on top of that, by the way, though, guys, it's not a mediocre pitcher today for the Diamondbacks. Merrill Kelly, arguably, has been their best guy all season long. Actually, I don't think that's that hot of a take. He's been their best guy this season. That's danger for the Giants, man. It just is. I think Arizona wins. The Giants, I mean, it's not like they're going to sell. They just traded for Rafi, you know, and I get it. He's on a long contract, but this team was, I mean, guys, 2 weeks ago, this team was right there with the Dodgers. They had that series with Los Angeles on, you know, they had that big weekend series. They trade for Devers. They're like 2 games out. Now they're 9 back, and they have a worse record than the Padres. If Arizona beats them today, the Diamondbacks will have the same record as the Giants. Ooh, it's brutal for San Francisco, man. I'm not complaining, though. I'm really not. Ticket prices keep going down and down out here. Hey, I'm not going to miss paying $70 just to get into a Giants game, okay? Can actually get into it. Like, I hope that Mets series drops like $30 so I can get the Steph Curry bobblehead for real cheap. Anyways, I miss the A's so much, man. Anyways, Arizona money line here at home at Chase Field. Okay, final best bet of the video. Guys, you might think tonight's for Clayton Kershaw. It might be. You know, it might. Clayton Kershaw, in all likeliness, will reach 3,000 strikeouts today. I saw FanDuel's offering like, what if will Kershaw have an immaculate inning to get the 3,000 strikeouts? Like, what are we doing? That's ridiculous. And the thing is, there's going to be dumb people who actually bet that. Or will Kershaw get the 3 strikeouts in the first inning? Like, don't bet that, guys. Anyways, tonight might be about Clayton Kershaw, and it probably is, okay? At the same time, you know what's going to happen? Sean Burke's going to come through, all right? Sean Burke's going to come through, and he's going to get us his 4.5 strikeouts today. I made this graphic about like 10 o'clock. I'm now recording this at like 1:30 in the morning. I don't know why FanDuel took down Sean Burke props. I don't know what happened to them. Nothing has changed. Like, Sean Burke's still the projected starter, so hopefully by the time this video is out at 6, they're back up. And I hope the line's the same. When I saw the line at like 9:30, Sean Burke over 4.5 strikeouts was at plus 115. I thought that line was highway robbery. I get it. I look how good the Dodgers lineup is. I understand. I watched Mike Soroka strike out 10 Dodgers the other week. And Soroka's really good. He's going to be a really big trade candidate. Sean Burke's been really good recently, though, for the White Sox. And even when Sean Burke doesn't go deep into games, he still finds ways to get strikeouts. Again, 4.5 feels like a steal for Sean Burke, because in 5 out of his last 6 starts, 5 out of his last 6, Sean Burke's gone over this line. And we get this at plus money? I mean, again, maybe they adjust the line, they still go 4.5, and they go, maybe minus 105 for over 4.5 strikeouts. That wouldn't surprise me. I would still take it. Guys, Sean Burke's gone, for the most part, consistently at least 5 innings in his last, month or so. And he's got some pretty good swing and miss stuff. He does. The 25-year-old's really coming into his own. Obviously, the opening day starter for Chicago actually had a really good opening day start against the Angels. Had a bad month of April, and really that has affected his ERA since. I mean, look at month by month for Sean Burke, right? Month of April, 7.71 ERA. Month of May, 2.73 ERA. And month of June, 4.2. It is what it is. It's just that first month that he had was really bad post-opening day against the Los Angeles Angels. Sean Burke's been good, and he's got swing and miss stuff, okay? So on a night where it might be all about Clayton Kershaw, and Clayton Kershaw will likely reach that club of 3,000 strikeouts, that very exclusive club, and I'm really happy for Kershaw. He's going to be the 20th guy to ever get 3,000 strikeouts. I don't know, honestly, in this day and age, is there going to be another ever member to reach 3,000 Ks? I just don't know, It's hard to do now. So we have to applaud Kershaw for getting it done. But while Kershaw is getting those strikeouts, and while the media is all on him, why is this game not on ESPN? Like, if ESPN actually cared about the game of baseball, I hate the Dodgers. Why does ESPN have Cubs Guardians today? This is a piece of baseball history. I hate the Dodgers with every fiber of my being for the most part. I'm still going to watch the game. This is history. I'm gonna watch Kershaw get his 3,000 strikeout. This is big stuff. Why? Like, again, ESPN, you want to be the worldwide leader of sports. Why aren't you at this game? I don't care if it's the White Sox. This is history. Anyways, unless he doesn't get the 3 strikeouts, which would be odd. Anyways, while that's happening, I think Sean Burke's going to carve up the Dodgers. I mean, we saw yesterday Shane Smith really struggled against Los Angeles, especially early in that game, like give up 4 runs in the first inning. That's fine. Again, Shane Smith only had 2 Ks, only went 2 innings. I'm telling you, Shane Smith's a different pitcher than Sean Burke. I think both of them are really good in spots. Again, Burke's just got more swing and miss stuff. So I think Sean Burke's going to be all right today. I'm going over 4.5 strikeouts for him, plus 115. Again, maybe that line changes, but I still like 4.5 regardless of whatever line we get this at. I think it's a pretty good spot here for Burke. Not a lot of attention is going to be on him. The Dodgers will strike out if you throw good stuff at them, and I think Sean Burke's going to come through for us. So Sean Burke over 4.5 strikeouts today. I believe he can get it done for the Sox. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, wrong graphic. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm going to talk about the draft a little bit because that does it for, again, our best bets portion of the video. I just want to talk about this because I talk about the Nationals every single day. The MLB draft's coming up in a couple weeks. Okay. For the Washington Nationals, really, I think it's going to be really hard for the Nationals to screw up the #1 pick. So in past years and the last time the Nationals were in a spot like this, obviously it was, okay, Skeens or Cruz. But ultimately that decision was out of the Washington Nationals' hands because it was whoever Pittsburgh wanted. And obviously Pittsburgh underslotted for Skeens and the Nationals got Cruz. And I was fine with that. Here the Nationals really have 2 options. And if they don't take one of these 2 options, I'm going to be really mad, all right? I am going to throw up if they don't pick one of Ethan Holiday or Cade Anderson. I'm here to tell you, I think there's an easy choice here, even though, again, I will not be mad if it's the other. I think the easy choice is Ethan Holiday. I still think it is, okay? Beyond these 2 guys, by the way, there's no other option for the Nationals. Ethan Holiday is the best player in the draft class, okay? And I think if you're approaching the draft, if you're Mike Rizzo, okay, you take the best player in the class, which is Ethan Holiday, and this goes to any class. Take the best player in the class, high school or college, or just take the most pro-ready guy who obviously is at a good level, and that's going to be Cade Anderson in this case. I think Holiday's the easy pick here, okay? I know, again, LSU Athletics, their athletic department and their manager over at LSU, they've been really hyping up Cade Anderson, calling him the most pro-ready guy and the best college baseball player. That might be true. I still think Ethan Holiday's the pick. Again, this is a guy who's coming out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. He's a high school product still. He's going to be 18 years of age. I think, and every report indicates that he's better than his brother Jackson, and that's a scary proposition. It really is. Ethan Holiday's got more power, hits for a better average, projected to at least. And I know high school stats aren't everything. Guys, Ethan Holiday batted .620 this year. And I get it. Again, it's high school baseball, and this is a guy who's going to be a pro player very soon playing high school ball. But he batted .620 in high school his senior year. And that's really big stuff. It really is. His OBP, guys, was .740. Ooh, man. And Cade Anderson, again, Cade Anderson's stock rose, obviously to the moon after he pitched that 10 strikeout shutout game in the College World Series against Coastal Carolina. Right? Had 10 strikeouts. But prior to that, guys, Cade Anderson honestly was never looked at as the #1 pitcher on the board. He never was, right? He was there, but let me change this. He was never looked at as the #1 prospect. He was a guy who's going to be one of the top pitchers, but never really was in consideration for the Nationals. My thing and why I think Ethan Holiday should be the pick. Again, he's not a surefire thing, but I think he's the best player. And on top of that, Cade Anderson, in all fairness, is an injury away. He's already had Tommy John once, which kind of concerns me. Like, what if his arm kind of falls apart again? And he's got, Velo's at a 98. That's where his fastball sits. He's got good put away stuff. As a whole, his ERA this year was like, 3.2 in college? Which isn't bad, obviously, pitching in the SEC, but I don't know. I think Ethan Holiday's the best guy. I think Cade Anderson probably is the best pitcher. And I would not be mad if the Nationals went with Anderson. I just don't see how you pass up on a guy like Holiday, who I think when he becomes a major league player is going to be, an all-star every single year. Not to say Cade Anderson is going to be that either, but at the same time, like, Cade Anderson's no Paul Skeens, and he's never going to be on that level, I don't think. And again, Skeens is a one of a kind player. I think Anderson's going to be good. I just think Holiday's going to be better. That's really how I see it. Anyways, folks, that does it for MLB Best Bets here on July 2nd. If you haven't yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure you like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba